Do you remember Hoops and Yoyo? These two little hyperactive creatures known for being on Hallmark electronic greeting cards, 2 holiday specials, and a large online presence? These two characters were well established, but have since completely disappeared, and 10 years later, we still don't have an official goodbye. Today I will be diving deep into the lore and complete disappearance of the beloved Pink Kitty and Green Bunny, Hoops and Yoyo. But first, here I am in the Oval Office, where I spend most of my time. Being that I am the president, of course, today I have decreed a $22 bill with my face on it. It will be a very useful bill, but we had to make room for it at the mints, so I decided to stop producing pennies, nickels, and dimes. Let's be honest now, do we really need those? So Hoops and Yoyo. I don't remember when I first saw these guys, I don't remember where I specifically know them from, but I was recently sent a picture of them from one of my viewers, shout out to you Somio, and when I first saw it, it truly yanked a memory from the back of my brain that I didn't realize I had. Hoops and Yoyo were originally created in 2001 by Bob Holt and Mike Adair. At this time, they were not Hoops and Yoyo, but instead were just simply Pink Kitty and Green Bunny. It wasn't until 2003 when they officially became Hoops and Yoyo. During their time as Pink Kitty and Green Bunny, they were actually not really a duo. Pink Kitty was a lot less pink and more of a magenta or purple kitty, and he was stuck with the E-cards. Meanwhile, Yoyo, or Green Bunny, was off with his own flash animation called The Adventures of Green Bunny. Eventually the two were put together in the E-cards, and the rest is history. They became the mascots for Hallmark cards and had their own subsection of cards. Typically, they were singing cards, so when you'd open it, Hoops and Yoyo would sing you a happy birthday or whatever occasion it was.
Or else you'd have to plug this into a car battery! And in this state, it's just not legal to do that!
They also had pop-up cards, so those were cool, I guess. But they also had e-cards, or electronic cards, meant to send to someone through email, or whatever other internet way. They had their own website where you could view these e-cards, and there were new ones frequently. The very first e-card was a solo Pink Kitty lighting a firework for the 4th of July, and it goes off right in his face. On the website, they would also have many shorts with little interactives to do things. Most of these shorts were the two just talking back and forth, spewing absolute nonsense.
November!
No!
Join the club, be a member of November.
What's a Vember?
November, I don't remember. Just say no.
Just say no to Vember. Can you pass the gravy?
No!
About 50% of the time, they would be in a fully animated world like regular cartoon characters. But the other 50% of the time, they would be in the real world with photos as backgrounds and interact with real objects. A lot of the time, the e-cards were greetings, mostly about holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Easter, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, Mother's and Father's Day, birthdays, and so on. Another common thing was wishing good luck, or happy Monday, or whatever day of the week it was. Although, none of them seem to like Mondays. But they also don't like spastic Sundays. Yes, there really was a greeting for that.
It's Spastic Sunday! Oh, no!
You are anxious about Monday,
Oh!
and thus are exhibiting these problems.
What does that all mean, man?
You're spastic. You're colon spastic.
Ah!
It needs to calm down.
I try. I've talked to it. I say, ease up.
Oh.
Go out, take a walk, but it just won't listen.
I can't elaborate enough on how crazy these two are. They are so hyperactive, fast-talking, hyper, spaz. Like, I don't know if there's a better word instead of hyper. It's because they really like coffee and donuts, and other pastries, but primarily coffee and donuts. Yoyo is a recovering and relapsing cinnamon bun addict, as confirmed in the Halloween special. A large chunk of their entire personalities is their love for coffee and donuts. A more logical reason for why they are so random and crazy is a lot of their voice work from their creators, Bob Holt and Mike Adair, is improv. Not everything they did was scripted, and they just try to make each other laugh. Beyond the regular holiday greetings, another common place they would give their little motivation and greetings from was in an office. I don't particularly know why, perhaps they worked there part-time, but it's a place they frequented. The office e-greetings would consist of telling the boss he's a great boss, giving work advice, or just coworker small talk. While Hoops and Yoyo are the faces of the brand, obviously, they did have a small supporting cast. The third main character, appearing most of the time, is Piddles. Just like Hoops and Yoyo, Piddles wasn't her original name. First she was Sprinkles, then it was changed to Penelope, and then it ended up as Piddles. She is a small blue hamster that travels with them in both of the holiday specials and in a large chunk of the e-cards. Then there is Chili Bear. He was mostly on the interactive pages and doesn't do a ton. He's in the Halloween special very briefly. Unfortunately, I don't really know much about his personality. The next character is Puck, and he has a purple mouse. As far as I can find, he was really only on the interactives. As far as I can tell, he doesn't really have that much of a developed personality. Same goes for Bluebird, just a little bluebird that shows up on the website. A final character is Marshy, and he is an anthropomorphic marshmallow, and he rarely shows up, but when he does, he's kind of a villain. Before I talk about their 2 TV specials, let's go over their albums. Plural. They got multiple albums. They came out with a Christmas album called Jingle Jingle Wiggle, featuring obviously Christmas songs, and some instrumentals of Christmas songs. And then they had a second album, with original short songs featuring Perry Grip. This album featured the ever-iconic Do You Like Waffles, among other things.
Do you like waffles?
Yeah, we like waffles.
Do you like pancakes?
Yeah, we like pancakes.
Do you like French toast?
Yeah, we like French toast.
Can't wait to get waffles.
Now what you've been waiting for, their TV specials. The only 2 pieces of animated media of Hoops and Yoyo that is longer than like 2 minutes. They began with a Christmas special called Hoops and Yoyo Ruin Christmas. Hoops, Yoyo, and Piddles are on the roof waiting for Santa to come, and he finally does, but then they get stuck in the back of his sleigh and travel with him through wormholes. I guess in this universe, that's how Santa gets around. The 3 of them get knocked off of the sleigh in the wormhole and get sucked into the past. They crash land on a young Kris Kringle's newly made toy. Piddles was hanging on to a Santa sucker this whole time, and it suddenly ceased to exist, meaning they just wrecked Santa's existence. Kris Kringle was going to put this toy in a competition, but now he has to make a new one. At the competition, fair, festival, thing, whatever it is, he is showing off his toy, and a little girl says she has never had a toy. So instead of Kris Kringle putting his toy in the show, he gives it to the girl, despite Hoops and Yoyo's efforts to circumvent Santa ceasing to exist. Later, the little girl suddenly turns into an angel, which is just a crazy plot twist, and magically just gives Kris Kringle all of the Santa stuff and declares him as Santa. What a wild way to end it. Young Kris Kringle goes out on his first night of being Santa, and old Santa comes back to return Hoops, Yoyo, and Piddles to their timeline. What a wacky Yuletide tale. Apparently that was successful enough to get another one, so we got Hoops and Yoyo's Haunted Halloween. I think this special is much better than the Christmas one. Hoops, Yoyo, and Piddles are going to a costume contest, but they don't have the costumes, and since it is Halloween, everything is sold out. They go to the mall, where Yoyo is really reluctant to go because he is a recovering cinnamon bun addict. They get locked in for the night. There are some rather clever jokes.
Great, now we're trapped between nooks and crannies. Damages?
Ooh, nice segue.
They get chased around by what they think are ghosts, but instead are generic junk Halloween costumes that are stuck in the mall because no one will buy them year after year. Yes, there are sentient Halloween costumes with severe depression. Even though they don't want them, the 3 of them buy the costumes, which was the costumes rule by the way. They couldn't leave unless they were bought. So this was just a marketing ploy by the mall, I think. Hoops gets the cowboy outfit, Yoyo gets a sheet to be a ghost, and Piddles gets a generic princess. They finally arrive at the Halloween party hosted by Chili Bear, and he's extremely blunt, with his very few lines being hilarious.
But I feel like they're very competitive.
Hello, people in not very competitive costumes.
Well, in our hearts, we've already won.
In our contest, you already lost.
Beyond the specials, other things they did was have movie night. And this wasn't really a show, just little interstitials between commercials on the Hallmark Channel. And they were quote-unquote watching it with you. And fun fact, this was the first time Hallmark Cards collaborated with the Hallmark Channel. I have said that I don't really know much about the characters beyond Hoops and Yoyo. And you may be thinking, well, if you don't know much about these characters, why don't you just go and watch it and get on the website? Yeah, good idea. Well, you can't. Hoops and Yoyo have now been lost to time. The last thing created for them was the 4th episode of their podcast, all the way back in 2015. Yeah, you heard me correctly, podcast. Now with us nearing 2025, that's almost been 10 years. Some of their content has been saved on YouTube like their specials, and quite a few of their e-cards. However, their websites are gone, which is where a lot of the character information is at. There are some videos on YouTube showing what their interactives were like, but it's still not everything. So a large chunk of Hoops and Yoyo are officially lost media. With the characters being so successful and over 50 million Hoops and Yoyo e-cards sent out, along with real greeting cards and tons of merch, why kill off these characters? Bob Holt, co-creator and voice of Yoyo, was fired from Hallmark, and that was pretty much end of story. No giant scandal or anything, just fired him and there went Yoyo. Even though the Hoops and Yoyo website shut down, you could still send around 100 different e-cards on the Hallmark website, but that has also shut down just recently in 2021. It appears as though Hoops and Yoyo are gone forever. I highly doubt they will make a comeback. They still have some physical cards with them, their typical voice cards or pop-up ones, but they are old and not making any new ones. And with most of their entire existence wiped clean off of the internet, only the dregs remain on YouTube. I would say about 75% of Hoops and Yo-Yo are now lost media. What a tragic tale. Hey, at least we still have all of the merchandise, the cards, the plushies, which I'm totally gonna get by the way, ornaments, of course, costumes, actual Halloween costumes, buttons, little figures and statues, all kinds of stuff. Farewell, Hoops and Yo-Yo. You will be missed. Us 2000s kids will never forget you. Well, that's not entirely true. I already forgot about them before I made this video, so... Okay, video's over. Now I'm going to give a bunch of thanks to all of you watching and all of my subscribers, to which I now have over 100,000. That is a big number. That's a lot of people. I'm very grateful to all of you that watch, comment, like, all that stuff. I began doing videos just a little over a year ago, at the end of October of 2023. At the beginning of July 2024, I had a little over 800 subscribers, and in just 5 months, I now have over 100,000. So like, that's pretty cool. Did I ever think I would get this far? Yeah, I knew I would because quite frankly, my ego is out of control and I know everything I do turns to gold. These videos are so fun and nostalgic to make, so as long as you don't stop watching, I'm gonna keep making them for you. Still subscribe though, just cause I hit a milestone doesn't mean I'm done. My conquest of YouTube has only just begun.